just getting started here. I'd already started a spread here, and just to see what direction to go, ended up with the Emperor and the Empress, the Ace of Cups, King of Pentacles, clarified by Moondreamer and Mapping the Way from this clarifying love check. So at this point, I'm kind of led to turn this reading. I think this is for somebody where it's sort of we're getting it's going to be one of those like how they feel about you, how they see you kind of thing. I don't pull on toxic exes, and just take what resonates and consider the possibilities. But let's see, this one is exciting. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see more on this Ace of Cups here. Delicate balance. So, and this is like a delicate balance of freedom and commitment. I think it's maybe still in the early stages here. Maybe they were not necessarily planning to settle down or looking for that. They were kind of enjoying the freedom, maybe newly in a situation. And then they stumble upon, the Emperor, the Empress here. I mean, they both came out, right? And it's like, well, this is, I don't really need to look anymore, but it is kind of the sense that they have done, some of the shadow work, and their relational skills are at a point where it's not just like, they need to go find themselves. I feel like they've been healing for some time now. But boy, there's a lot on the table here in terms of what's going on. So let's get more about like what they see here. There's let's see. There's something like about vulnerability here, and this sort of an energetic like dance. Like, something about your vibe that it is like, I don't know how to. I'm like a good picture of like someone dancing even when they're not dancing. That they're just animated, and this is what they call that in French, like the joie de vivre or something. Yeah, where it's just like exciting and joyful, and it's reconnecting them to that part of themselves that through to past circumstances, relationships was sort of suppressed, but like it was like their whole thing. I get the sense of, and there's just been such a concentrated effort to sort of like intentional, believe it or not, like to sort of suppress that. And so it's this like soul recognition to where it's just like, when two people, maybe two people like isolate, go hermit mode, because when they connect, it's just like everybody else is like jealous of the fire, like they want to put the fire out or whatever. It's like, oh well, let me boundary, let me protect this or something. And then it's like, I don't think the TikTok video where this girl's like dancing all crazy or whatever, and then this other girl's staring her down, and then the music kicks on, and they're both like doing the match, some kind of thing. It's a little bit like that variation on Wednesday in that new Wicked movie that just came out. But I think it's, this Dance the Soul card is talking about letting the two hearts intertwine, and this person desires for that thing that, there's a lot, with healthy boundaries. We're not talking about emotional enmeshment, but we are talking about this sort of like solar, sort of, we're still in the early stages of like maybe just seeing what's what in the early balance of freedom and commitment, but they see this potential for, it's just like, all right, you've got the gasoline, got the match, I'm not saying it just, has to be, but it seems like there's potential there. So, but it is sort of, the connection and the knowledge is there. And so whether the chemistry might be at various stages, it kind of seems like, I'm getting a picture of just like maybe they listen to, if you've given them like a message or something, or videos, like social media or something like that, that they're continually being lifted up and reconnected to source. And it's not just like they're training from your energy, but you're pushing them back to their own higher self, and that's back to the source, and realigning them. And sort of like this, it's like a ground control that like, if they're like a sniper and like, you're like calling out like, watch your 20 or whatever, like, looking in the future, like this is coming. So I don't know if you do readings or just energetically, you're like sending messages to your friend, like, but they're, yeah, you just, and I feel like there's been a long time of like getting to know, at least on one side of the other person, because yeah, they keep coming back to the well. But on the flip of this delicate balance line here, the balance was just kept jumping out at me, and the flip of this card is reciprocal lines, and that's in the reverse. And I think that that's part of even maybe what was inspiring this kind of thing, is just because it may not be as clear on both sides how much one person appreciates the other, you know, and yeah, they don't want to be a taker, and they're in fact the giver here with the, the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups coming out together. Just kind of circling around the Emperor like this. They, yeah, it's like they have. This is kind of weird, but like within themselves, they've done enough of the shadow work and reversing traditional norms or whatever to be kind of in touch with like fully with their Emperor side and their Empress side. So they have this deep nurturing side and this sort of, it's not necessarily like codependent or needy or whatever, but it's, can for whom they choose to be vulnerable with it and make these kind of commitments to allow themselves to depend on another person. Like they're not going to be closed off and like not that like when they feel like someone has like earned that trust or is on that same wavelength. I don't know, I'm getting like a pain in my back of my neck. I don't know if you ever like pain or like you lean over too much with that or something, but it could be confirmation. But I just, there's a creativity here. There is something in the spirit that is just like where Isaiah 60 of like darkness is like covering the earth and the people, but then like the chosen or the ones of spirit arise, because the light is going to be on you, and it really throat shock and all that, and so I just feel like that's the light, right? This is the light that everybody else is trying to keep out. It's like when our powers combine or whatever, but the light doesn't just come. It's coming together for joy and for love, but also because it's in the context of great darkness that is like being dispelled or something. But it's just like having a good time. But like, yeah, I did that. We defeated that. We prayed here or whatever whatever angel did that, whatever thing, whatever principality, was taken down. It's like, but all right, cool. What are we gonna do next? Like, yeah, take over the world. So, but there's a co-learning here that's like jumping out. That's just like, I'm talking about harmony and flow and unity and navigation. Yeah, mapping and navigation. You're writing the map that together the others will follow. What's like your struggles are someone else's roadmap. It's like take notes or something. Because there's this. If this ends up being, what was it jumped out? Before I get to that one, if this is like pursuit or what they have in heart, what they want to pursue, and I think a lot of this is just what they're envisioning and what they're kind of like speaking into the spirit of like hoping could be something that they could pursue, is this like soulful synergy that's like, we're not there yet, but there's a dance and harmony of like vulnerability, and it's like there's so many relational dynamics where one person is the runner chaser, right? What if they're both chasers or whatever? That's like, that's the dream, right? But it's like, if they stay in the other way, because it's like, well, that's the childhood dynamic, and that's what they're used to, and that's what they're comfortable, and that's what they think love is, and it's anything else, they sabotage it or they run from it because they haven't done the shadow work to realize, whatever. But to people that are committed to like growth and shadow work or something, and that's like what jumped out was this. It's like magic within, right? I like to do it like to create the transformation, right? Because as if this is pursued through intents and purposes